Welcome to Tribal Council, and actually this week you can see all three of us if you're joining us live in the chat, which we do every week. Christy fixed her computer. Nice work.
I had to IT it myself, though. It wasn't very fun, but it was not actually my computer. It was actually a Chrome issue that I'm sure there's some people out there who have had that update happen to them too.
But. Yeah, but it took you 2 weeks, so I think you didn't do IT. I think you did SHIT.
Well, you're probably right, but no, I thought I'd fixed it and then I didn't, and then I tried to pawn it off on Eric, and then he was like, "I don't know anything about Macs. I don't know what to tell you."
That's going in my life.
So then I just Googled it and tried to figure it out. So
that's why I hate doing updates.
I don't even remember doing the update. But I did. I must have.
I'm just not a fan of updates. I'm like Danny on the Island of Survivor.
Couldn't they just get it right the first time? Like, why do we need an update?
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway.
Well, we had a new episode of Survivor. I first I was down on it, but just because all my picks are just dropping like.
I just looked at my picks in the fantasy league. Oh.
Oops. That's all right.
Well, I thought Danny played she actually deserved to go home. She was terrible last night.
Wait, JP, did you forget to put yours in altogether? Oh my God.
No, I put mine in. Yeah, they're there. Yep. And I got the what's the bonus when you enter your picks before Sunday? 0 times half. Oh,
infinity.
0.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm sorry, Jack. Go on.
That's okay. I just saying I thought Danny played just a terrible game, and she probably deserved to be voted out.
Yeah.
And I picked her as in the podcast to win it.
Jesus.
Well, that didn't work out. But I think she was she just like seemed to like say things. First of all, saying what she said in front of Ben.
Right.
Like it was like her brain wasn't engaged in the game yet or something.
She was
absolutely rusty.
She was like it almost felt like she was like running around in like a panic mode at the end there.
Yeah.
And then she wanted to go after poverty.
Yeah.
I gotta make sure I say that correctly. Poverty. Poverty. You go poverty. Poverty. I don't know what I say, but Parv, like I said, just so Parv. That was a mistake too. Why would you go after her?
Because, well, it's almost like Danny didn't know her place. You're an old school. You're not these young school people or the new school or whatever the heck they call it. But she wanted to turn on her own people who would have watched her back more than anyone else. That's
right. Yeah, maybe it's because she hadn't played in a while, and it's hard getting used to those cameras being around you 24/7.
Yeah.
She got paranoid. Nobody was talking to her. Well, that's where you walk up and just insert yourself in the conversation. Say, what are we doing? What's the game plan?
You have to go and talk to them. If you see it's not happening, play.
And if you get over there and nobody says anything to you, then it's you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, she got in her own head big time.
Yeah, she got her own head, and then when she was like just kind of running in between the groups, doing the he said she said stuff, that's where I don't even care what they were whispering at Tribal. I just knew she was going home.
Well, they were whispering, we're still voting for Danny.
Yeah.
This doesn't change anything, right?
Right. I mean, it was good TV. You had, the whole empty your bag and give Denise credit for emptying her bag and still not showing that she had the idol.
She palmed it.
Yeah, no, Denise has some skill there.
She's like the David Copperfield of Survivor.
Yeah. But anyway, I thought a good episode. We have Edge of Extinction where Natalie is. I think she's. If it were to happen today, she'd definitely be the one to go back in.
So far, yeah.
Yeah,
first two.
And now you have Danny going over there. I don't see her being a threat to Natalie. So,
but I thought it was funny that Amber. Geez, I almost forgot her name.
You're getting old.
Or she just hasn't been playing enough for us to remember. But no, she was just kind of like, oh, I'm over here, but I'm still in the game. and yet she's not. She's not really. She's
No.
not.
Well, I actually wrote down what she said, that she didn't come there. She didn't like come there, leaving her 4 kids behind just to lose on day one. So she still has that mentality of being in the game.
Well, because I think Rob even said, he goes, it was a big decision for us to leave our kids
Oh yeah, sure.
behind. And again, I don't see the advantage of having them both play.
Right.
It's too. There was no, but now when we see Edge of Extinction, Rob is getting some. Will get some advantages from her. Maybe I already got one. So it puts a target at. We knew that one of them was going to go home right away.
Right.
How old are their kids? Do we know?
It can't be too old, right?
I'm just saying. I would be down for a vacation if I was.
Even Survivor, where you're on.
I have a big gang of kids, so I think at some point when they were all under 10, if someone would have said to me, "Hey, you want to go off for 30-something days?" I might go, "Yeah, let's do it." It's like a vacation.
I think they're all under 10, and they're like very closely grouped together in age.
Okay, because my first video,
Jack, all girls.
Oh my God! Yeah, I'd definitely be volunteering for a vacation.
How many times did you come out here and play this?
My first video I sent in for Survivor, it wasn't just driving a Zamboni naked. I had my girls screaming at each other and everyone screaming in the house. And I said, I think something like Survivor, that would be 39 days on an island with no food, no water. That'd be a vacation. And so, anyway, it didn't get picked. So
they didn't think it was funny. They probably don't got any kids.
I get it. But I thought, okay, here's something. Yeah. But anyway, yeah, I just, but now you're voted out and you're not with your kids for, 40 days.
Right.
Well, I wonder if one of the reasons that they set the game up the way that they did was that they knew that there was going to be really good players that people love that were going to be easy targets to go out first. How can we keep them in the game a little bit longer, maybe give them an extra chance, still get them on TV?
Right.
And, it's going to work for Amber, I think. And if she can do anything to help out Rob, then that works for them.
Oh yeah, it does.
I mean,
it's virtually one player, as I said before. They're playing for the same bank account.
And if she had found that thing in the well, she would have sent it to him. But
right, and that was just luck.
Yeah, it was.
I mean, Natalie has some good skill, but that was just happened to be luck. And then she's reaching her. But then you reach your body inside the water. Do they boil the water after that?
See, and I was the second they were reading the clue, and I was looking at it on TV. I was like, "Look at the edge. Look at that edge. Looks funny. It looks like it must spell something out." I was already spelling it out before they even showed it. But I'm paranoid that way, right? I'm like, it doesn't make any sense. There has to be a hidden message here, and that's a tricky one with just lining it up like that. That's
yeah. When you're not eating right, you're not sleeping right, and but.
Only 3 days or 4 days, 6 days.
Well, who knows? But kudos to Natalie, though, for finding it and giving it to Jeremy. And that was a risk, too, because she didn't know if Jeremy had spent his token. I mean, if she sends it to Jeremy, he doesn't have a token.
Right.
That's true, yeah.
She gains nothing. And tokens are her lifeblood. She needs as many tokens as she can get.
Which I was thinking, so she knows Amber just showed up. She knows Amber gave her token to Rob, for sure.
Right, yeah.
So in my head, I would be going, maybe I should send it to Rob. But then are you helping Rob and helping that?
Oh, yeah.
But that's what I would have been. Who's here that just got a token? Who's here that would have just given someone a token? There we go.
Well, she knows also that she gave Jeremy her token
right.
a few days ago.
Right.
Right, that's true.
So she's the one who sent the 2 things to be purchased. She knows exactly who's already got them and who hasn't. So if she keeps getting them, she's going to be able to go, okay, now who do I hit next?
And good point on Rob, because if she sends it to Rob, she knows that that Rob would probably do it because he thinks it might be coming from Amber.
Yeah.
Right.
And I would think the only reason she didn't was because she doesn't want to help them just in case Amber gets back in the game or something. I don't know.
Yeah, could be. Well, she's got a strong alliance with Jeremy.
Mm-hmm.
That's what got her kicked out, voted out in the first place.
Yeah.
What do we think of Ben last night?
Well, when he helped Denise find her idol, she was like, I can't believe, I know he was going to try and talk me into giving it to him, but he didn't. But they cut that one angle where she turns her back on him as she's like looking at the idol, and he's standing behind her and he's just like seriously, you're not going to give it to me?
Yeah, I mean, I thought that was kind of a raw deal.
He was thinking at this point, and usually he has 15 idols already.
Yeah.
Well,
That's going to be his gameplay is a social game and helping people find idols.
right. Yeah.
I'm like, well, I kind of agree with that, but if you're going to look for idols, you're better off finding them yourself.
But he did want it. He was just being nice. He did want to give him the other part.
Is that
she didn't even consider him?
No, which is kind of.
I know that saying you're gonna, idols are obviously very powerful in the game, but when you're saying that one of your attributes to contribute is I can help people find idols in this game, is that
I think
really
it's a
that
target.
much?
No, it's not going to get you any votes.
No, I don't think so.
Well, and it puts a target on you because everyone's gonna be like, "Oh, that's the guy who finds idols so easily," and he's just proved it to Denise. So, but I would think if I was Denise and I found that, based on the fact that Ben knew I had it, I think the only way to keep them quiet about it is to give them the other half. Isn't that the play?
Right. Yeah. Well, she goes to Adam and she says, "What if we gave it to Parvati?" He's like, "What, are you crazy?"
Adam looked at her like she'd been drinking. Like, what?
Yeah.
No.
Why would you give it to one of the strongest players out here?
And I guess her point was we could make an alliance, but
no. Well, he knows it. No. Players like Boston Rob, Sandra, Parvati, and these other players, they play to win.
Yeah.
And you're not going to buy them love.
Well, at that point, what day was it? Day 4, day 5?
Yeah.
If you're not in your alliance already, you're not going to be.
No.
But
I mean, I get what she was trying to do, but there's just certain players that, because you look at, we have Kim. She finds half an idol and she goes to Sophie. I keep calling her Sophia. I apologize. Sophie, and Sophie's like going, well, I'm glad she offered it to me, but that was a mistake.
And that just shows Kim cannot read other people, or not as well as she thinks she can.
Nobody wants to play with her. Nobody. They're not going to give her a chance. I think that Sandra is put said, nope, we need to get rid of her. She's too good a player. Well, don't you think it's something we haven't seen or they just knew going in that she controlled her season.
Yeah.
I mean, it was sickening at times because you kept thinking, okay, why don't they vote her? Why don't they vote her? Why don't they vote Kim? And they never did.
Play, actually. Yeah.
But now she has no, and she goes, okay, I finally got some leverage. So I go to Sophie and Sophie goes, nah, you just made a deal with the devil. Mistake.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a season. I know we're only on our second episode, but I don't think we're going to see a lot of flip-flopping this season. I think people are going to just stick to what they've already set up. They will
stick with the plan.
Stick with the plan, and that's always something that just frustrates everybody when you're watching at home when somebody doesn't stick to the plan.
Right.
I think they're going to stick to the plan. I think, yes, they're going to smile and nod to the old timers or whatever you want to call them, cops or us. But, I don't think there's going to be a lot of flip flopping or people turning backs on each other.
Rob's usually pretty good about keeping people non-paranoid.
Right.
He's usually whoever's with him, he's usually very good at keeping them all calm,
right,
all to the plan anyway. So I think you're right. They'll probably will go that way. Sandra's too.
Yeah.
Don't mess with her.
Well, again, you had Rob went to his second tribal council,
right,
and didn't get a vote.
Yeah.
It didn't even come up.
And he absolutely blew that puzzle. So
yeah, he was terrible. I mean,
it was horrible.
Was that his worst performance in Survivor history? All the times he's been on Survivor, I don't know how many days he's accumulated. This is his 5th time, right?
Yeah.
or even sixth time with the
Right. With the
Idols,
Island of Idols.
Island of the Idols. Was that his worst performance, and especially in a puzzle challenge?
It was I don't even think they finished one section.
No, they finished the bottom. They finished the bottom.
All right.
Red team had a big. I don't know their names. Red team had a big lead, and then
Selig,
Selig and Colin.
so they had the big lead, and then Rob and Denise got up there, and they caught up super fast, and they were tied going into their nearly going into the second trunk, and then I don't know, it all fell apart. But they were organizing it, and that's not a horrible thing because that trunk had way more pieces because it was both sides. So you kind of had to split them to figure out which side. But could they not take the pieces over to the mat and work there? Do you have to work off the table?
I wouldn't think so. And
like
I think what
at a time. Go back.
I think what happened too is they took the pressure off the other teams. Was it Sandra and who was working with Sandra on the puzzle? Was it Sophie?
Was it? Maybe.
Either way, they took when they stopped because they caught up. They finished that because they had the other team had a big lead, and Rob and Denise got that part done really quick, and you could see that the pressure was starting, but then they stopped and let them get ahead again. I think you've been better off. You would have been better off. Again, I understand what he was trying to do, but I think part of the puzzles is the stress level because you're panicking, you took the pressure off them. They were able to put this. Oh wait, they're not doing anything. Mike sees Miami. Mike says it's Sophie and Sandra. So, but they took the pressure off them, and they could just put the puzzle together without panicking.
Well, and as they were sorting out the pieces over there on the table, it was like they were just piling them up. They weren't laying them out to see how they could fit together there.
Right.
That would have been okay. Well, these kind of all have the same color. Let's see if we can fit them out. And if you got them together on the table and they kind of flowing, then you just transfer that over to the thing, right? But
yeah. Or you have one person doing the sorting and the other person you had to keep.
But they stood there just looking at it and looking at it.
They were to me, they were playing the game like you would. They were doing the puzzle like you would do it later on in the season when your brain is fried.
Right.
When you're fresh day 4, I mean, just boom, 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 and just worry about, I could do a puzzle quicker at around lunchtime than 7 o'clock in the morning.
Right. But it's also harder when when I'm putting a puzzle together. I don't have a clock. I'm not playing for my livelihood, my life. Again, I just say.
Yeah. You have people yelling at you.
Yeah, I mean, you had Tony. What Tony was? Yeah, let's make it sound like let's put pressure on them. And I thought it worked pretty well. And I just sat there going, what are they doing? And then when you at first I go, oh, great idea. No, what are you doing? You're taking too long. And they finished the second section. It was like they hadn't even started it yet. And then Rob goes up there and puts one piece up high. I'm like going, what are you doing, Rob? So yeah, I thought that was his worst performance in his history of playing Survivor.
Oh, I think he felt it too.
I know Ethan did.
No, I liked that Ethan could give him crap about it. It shows that they have a little bit of they have some camaraderie there other than just being both old school.
You suck, dude.
You suck
today, dude.
Real bad.
But to give Rob credit, he didn't panic. He wasn't like, oh, I'm sorry, I apologize. Because you always get those people that come back saying, oh, they compound the problem by saying, oh, I screwed up. And they go on and on and on.
Stop highlighting that you screwed up.
Yeah. Because he was even good when Amber got voted out. He goes, well, it's hard, but that's the game.
Oh no. I just totally disagree. When they came walking out and he saw Amber was gone, did you see? He was going to kill someone with his eyeballs.
Well, he was in the back.
Oh, but he was like.
When Jeff asked him though, he
looking and he was waiting for Sandra to look at him. You could tell he was like, "Look at me, look at me."
But he was keeping it in house. He didn't go all Brandon Hance crazy.
No, that's not his style, though.
But I thought when Jeff asked him, he handled it really well. I thought, yep. It's hard, but it's a game. That's what the game is.
Yeah. Well, he's stealthy. I think he's not going to be on the like outwardly show how angry he is and get mad at people. But on the inside, I think he was boiling.
Oh, I think he was. He was pissed. But he handled it, like I said, that was the correct way to handle it, because you can't show that you're, especially in Survivor, you can't show you're upset, because it doesn't do you any good.
Well, it's not going to help you at all. No.
He's playing the game. He's playing the game like somebody who, if he were to get knocked out, it's not going to really affect him. What I was just thinking of is, like, when I play a poker tournament, I've bought into a poker tournament and I get knocked out, it hurts because I could have, spent that money elsewhere. But Rob and Amber have both won this game. It's nice that they're on it again, but I think he's just content with his place already in Survivor.
Oh, no, I think he's totally a competitor. I don't think he's content.
No, I think he's playing very laid back. I think he knew he was safe.
Right.
I don't think, and that's where I think he's just calm, cool, and collected about it. I don't think, I always want to say, I don't think we're going to see Rob play like Sandra, as we saw in the previews for next week.
Well, but they have different styles.
Right. Sandra, you're right. Sandra is like, you're going after me? Mistake.
Yeah. I think, Rob would say that too. Let's be real.
Right. That's true. Yeah.
The cameras.
Well, he did say that.
But or to his alliance members, he would say it. But Rob, absolutely, there is zero chance that Rob does not want to get another win. There's zero chance, because I guarantee you, he spent all that time over Island of Idols with Sandra talking about her 2-time winning and being the queen. He wants to. Come on.
And we talked about it. We talked about it last week. Whoever, if Rob wins this, he has to be considered the best of all time.
I think so.
It's true.
If Sandra wins it, obviously it's a slam dunk. She's the queen, and there's no discussion.
And when he came out and he sees that Amber's gone and he's doing the look, and they're all looking at him, Sandra's like the only one who didn't look over at him to see his reaction.
Yeah.
She did not look, but everybody else was looking. And then I went back to that theory my sister has of, did they rig are they pretending to not be to be mad at each other? And are they pretending?
That could be it.
Don't know. It would be super smart if they were.
Miami Mike says Rob is playing laid back. He's not climbing up any bamboo ladders.
Oh my God.
Because only crazy people do that. Let's be real.
I hate when
it wasn't a bad idea.
Yeah.
You got plenty of time to do a better job of making the ladder. I was saying, could you put holes in could you burn holes in the bamboo, and then you could put the rope, tie it through there, so it's not just twisting around on.
Well, if you're planning to make it, why don't you just get all the materials and put the materials there and build it there, so you don't have to have 50 people help you track it through the jungle? Like, why not just build it there?
Well, notice he wasn't carrying it. he was just ordering people around. But.
Because I think part of them carrying it was the part that was making it loose too, probably. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I don't think it was tied very well.
I don't know. I just think he would have made it there on site, got it all tied, got it up there. You can check out each rung as you're going. You'd be there, but
actually, I think that's the first time we've seen anyone build a ladder.
First shack, first ladder.
I think I actually thought it was a great idea. I just thought his technique was terrible. I mean, I wouldn't have climbed that ladder.
Well,
and people are saying, "Oh, it's fun." I go, "Yeah, you fall down and break your leg, you're done.
You're done."
Should show that scene to Dale. See what he thinks.
By flashbacks. No, it's like his ego. So you can see that there's rungs that are not secured, but he's just flying up the ladder like, I'm gonna. And no, it's fine, guys, it's fine, because he has to show everybody the thing he built is good, instead of going, maybe I need to fix this.
Well, he does say that he's doing this to keep himself occupied, so he doesn't go and be Crazy Tony. Because he knows that Crazy Tony, because Crazy Tony can't win this game. There's no way. I mean, you have too many smart players They would be like, all right, it's time to get rid of Tony.
Neither can paralyze Tony.
That's true. That's true. But again,
Quadriplegic Tony, he's not winning.
great idea, but do a better job of building the ladder, I think.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. You know, it's hard this season to tell how editing is shifting the timeline for us, because we just find out about the ladder and they're already doing it. Maybe he's been building it for a while. And
I'd rather go with the impression that he was just built it like in an hour.
and even with them finding the idols, they showed him finding the idols, and on TV it was like 5 minutes apart. But I mean, clearly, right? That can't be like today was the day that both teams found their idol.
Going to the, were we okay that I was hoping there was not going to be any hidden idols, that you had to earn it. Now they did put a twist where you have to share the idol with somebody.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not just, okay, it's not, hey, I found an idol. I'm not Ben. I found 10 idols and I can use them one after the other.
It forces you that you can't do that thing where you hide it and don't tell anyone.
Right.
It makes it.
You have to tell somebody you have the idol.
I must have missed it in the explanation, though. Do the two pieces have to be combined as one idol, or are they two separate idols?
They have to be combined as one.
Combined.
Okay. That's what I thought.
Wonder Twin powers.
Wonder Twins. So it's an idol, but it's not like. But again, that goes back to Kim. You know, she really has no power. In fact, it might have hurt her game.
Right. But what else was she going to do, though? She picked the person she thought was best, but you're probably right. Nobody would have. It would have been the same with anybody she would have approached with it. So
because she said in the beginning, she says it's frustrating because nobody wants to work with me. I mean, nobody. And so when you're on the only thing that can save her right now is a merge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They get a merge. She can get, but you got to be thinking the other players. But you have Ben over there. Ben probably work with her because Ben's all about the social game.
So they had to gift one part. Does that mean the other person gets to hold it?
Well, Kim had both parts. I guess she just kept them buried.
But did Denise have both of them in her knapsack, or did Adam have one? And he
they only showed Denise, so I'm assuming she had both parts.
Because so you have to share it, and you give it to that person, like with the Kim and Sophie thing. Like, what's going to stop Sophie from going over there and digging one of them up, or at least part of it, and taking it? That way, Kim can't use it without her knowing, because she'll go to her, hey, Sophie, did you take the other part of that idol?
Was there also a time limit to when you had to share it by?
You had to share it by that night.
That night, yeah.
So he should have had
to use it.
Yeah, so I guess he should have had another half of the idol, unless he didn't bring it.
That's a good point, though. With Christy, though, that could be a good strategy, taking her half of the idol
and
moving it.
Because then she can't. Because so they're both there, and then let's say they go to tribal next.
Can you take? Is that part of the rule? Can you take some?
Well, they said you're giving the other part to someone, so isn't that then for them to have? But I don't know. But I would think that I would do that just so that when we went to tribal, I would know she didn't have both pieces.
Right.
Because you're now effectively blocking her from being able to use the idol.
And what happens? Say Sophie got voted out, or Adam got voted out. Is that idol useless now?
Oh, good point.
I wonder if you have to leave it behind for somebody on the Exile Island.
Or does it become that other person's idol now fully because they gave it away, but that person,
maybe the person gets it back and then they have to give the other half to somebody again.
Gosh.
It's awful complicated. Again, I like the fact that they have these tokens and that they can buy idols or something like that. I like that than just walking around and finding the idol, because they don't seem like they're hit. I mean, I know Ben was out there saying, "I'll show you." It didn't seem that hard to find one.
Mm-mm.
You just, I think it's just luck, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Well, you get a feel for it. We would even know. Look in the trees. Look in the trees that look like there's a hidey hole or a hidey space. And then you just look for the color of your team, and there you go.
And you gotta look for the different looking, a tree that's not doesn't fit. It's always a strange looking tree or something like that.
Mhm.
Anyway, I'll live with it because that's Survivor. But Danny, they did say Danny. They called her out because she said she's old school and she's never played in that type of game.
Right.
She did, because I remember her being a really good player.
Right.
That's why I picked her to win it, because she was good at the social game, challenges, everything. But again, you forget that she hasn't been in the game a while. I don't think she's been around the players. Maybe she doesn't hang out with them. But
She's not as cool as all those hip new kids.
no, but that was a huge, just like I said, I go, no, don't go after poverty. No, what are you doing? I mean, didn't you learn the week before after going after Rob? And of course, Rob goes, yeah, I'm in.
He's the Rob father.
Yeah, he's not going to go against poverty at this point.
No.
There's no chance.
The interesting thing about the fire tokens now, Rob and Natalie and Denise all have 2 each. Sandra has 0.
Well, because she bought
Mm-hmm.
she bought an immunity idol, right?
And since Jeremy already had 2, now he's down to 1 because he spent 1. But I think that maybe wouldn't that be crazy if in the end that's what it ends up being? Like people who have none are like in the bad position, and those who have saved theirs or have had them gifted to them, they're the ones that have the huge.
I think that's the strategy behind it. That's why I said I don't think we need more idols.
Mm-mm.
The tokens are adding strategy to the game.
Mm-hmm.
Not that the idols don't, but the tokens are adding strategy. A new twist.
Well,
and these players have to think before they.
Especially as the person's voted out, when you get down to about 10, when you're about down half, that's 10 tokens that have been given out to other people and given back because people on the Extinction Island will have, hopefully gotten some back too. But I don't know.
Well, that's it. Because also, like I said, when Natalie has to think, okay, if I give this to somebody, obviously I need their token. Mm-hmm. Who still has their token? Who wants it? Who's going to say, no, this isn't worth me giving up a token. I need to keep my tokens. So there's some strat. That's why I said we don't need all these idols. Mm-mm. Because you have strategy in play.
So what if this double idol? What if there's no actual idols in the game? What if they can't find any? There's this double idol option that they've put out there. But what if that's it? What if once those are played, that's done? And
I'd be okay with that unless you can use your tokens to buy an idol.
Well, yeah, I think they couldn't they?
Yes, that's an option.
Yeah. So later on. So then once the fire tokens are really building up for some people, then that'll be idols again.
There's going to be, I think as the show progresses, there's going to be like a lot of hardcore choices out there where it'll be very, very difficult to almost say, no, I'm saving up for another.
I'm saving up for a blanket.
Exactly.
But you might have people that do that, because you always have people that opt out of the challenges for peanut butter and jelly or pizza or something like that, which I never get. I would never feel that safe that I go, no, I got to play the challenge. I got to play.
I'd have to tell one of my tribe mates, like, if they come out and they tempt me, please just punch me in the face, because I don't let me take it, because you'd be so tempted. Come on.
Yeah. You'd definitely be tempted, but I would never do it.
I don't know. Anyone who's worked in an office come noontime, things are getting really frantic in there.
Oh, if somebody, my office, if you put snacks on the kitchen table, I'm there at like 9:30 in the morning. Eating.
Where's JP? Oh, there's snacks in the kitchen.
There's jokes at my office that people literally run. They literally run to the break room. But
I have plastic containers in my drawer just to collect stuff and bring it home.
In your what?
In his drawer.
My drawer.
My draw.
He said the tournament earlier, and I had to chuckle too. Oh, so cute, that accent, huh?
Forget about it.
But I hope that's the case, that the tokens will be a bigger part of the game, and that it'll that'll be park the car.
I'm not from Boston.
Anyway, that was in the chat, by the way. It was Jamie saying that.
Jamie Kelly. Is this Jamie or is this Kelly? Or is it actually someone named Jamie Kelly?
Yeah, I don't know.
Ooh.
Is it my mom from last season?
This is not your mom. We
No,
know.
never found out who my mom was.
Never fall for that again.
Nope. We did say, well, Rob didn't trust Ben. He thinks Ben's playing not being stupid, but that's part of it. That's the impression I got, that he thought that that's how Ben's playing.
He thinks Ben's like a mastermind that he's just playing dumb.
That's what I thought. That's the impression I got from Rob. And I said that last week. I said, is Ben just playing, so he can stay in the game longer?
That's what I reckoned.
Did you really?
No.
I don't think he's playing.
No.
I think he's a little starstruck by some of them, and I think I don't know. I think he's being honest.
But is that the way to do it though? Because because you're stroking the egos,
yes.
I think that's the way to keep yourself in the game.
Keep them on their pedestal where they think they belong.
Right, and I think that's why I thought last week, that's what I thought he was doing. I thought when people were saying, oh, I think he's going home next week. And I was like, I think Rob thinks he's got his ticket and he's going to keep him because how he got him to spill the beans so easily.
Right.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So I think if Ben's playing, I'll be super surprised. I think he's just a really earnest, trustworthy guy. Kind of, I remember that from his season that he was super likable, but
yeah. If he's doing that, though, I'll say it again. That's great strategy.
Yes. No, I don't know. Maybe.
Anything else we got going on here? We had the challenge. Like I said, it was a tough one. When I saw that Rob was at I go, oh, they'll come back to win this. But again, they didn't. It was.
Yeah, it was one of those challenges too, where it was like, all right, so we're gonna. You're going to do these obstacles, and then you're going to end with a puzzle. It's like, Jeff's basically winking at Rob. This is for you.
Yeah.
You, buddy.
Oh, my God. He disappointed mommy and daddy.
I did.
It was bad. It was, again, he just looked like, I heard people say that maybe it was because Amber got voted out. And I got to think, I go, once you're in the game, once you get back in game mode, I would think that outside, because this is a game that he's played obviously 5 times. This is his 5th time. I think you have the ability to block it out and say, okay, no, I'm in the game.
Regardless of blocking it out, I think he's such a strategist that I think he would have in his head already have been running scenarios with her. Okay, if I'm voted out, then you play this way. If you're voted out, then when they've already thought of that, I think he thinks of that stuff.
I would think so too, but obviously they didn't know about Edge of Extinction.
Exactly, yeah.
Which doesn't that make it better? That makes you less mad, right? Because they have a chance to come back.
Yeah. Well, people were saying that maybe he was just so frustrated that she got voted out that he wasn't thinking,
But he got her fire token when that came. He said right away, "I think this is from Amber."
Right.
So it was just confirmed. It wasn't like he was getting hit upside the head. Oh my God, Amber's gone. He was already having that feeling that she was gone.
Well, he's going to find once they go to the challenge anyway. They know who it is.
Sure.
So.
Sure, but it just confirmed what he already thought had happened. That the Danny vote. Did you know that was unanimously for Danny? She voted for Poverty and all because they haven't been showing the.
Oh, so she's the one that voted for.
She voted Poverty. Everyone else voted for her. So even all of that kerfuffle at Tribal and everybody standing up and all the whispering and all the dumping out your bags and all of the show that they did, which was a great show. They were all going to vote for Danny. All of them. Not a single one of them was voting.
That's why I said they all said, just keep voting for Danny.
Oh yeah, if you have the majority. But I figured there'd be a couple just based on how they were all talking. There'd be a couple that maybe thought they were going over here. Nope. Danny swayed 0 people.
If you're the younger group, the newer group, do you take a chance? Why are you voting Danny out at this point? Danny
told them she was going to vote Poverty. That's not a bad choice.
No, it's not. But
I would have thought Adam, who recognizes her as a threat, would have been like, yes, let's do that.
But they're so afraid of him. They're afraid of Rob and Poverty. They don't want to. You think Jeremy would have said, okay, they had the votes.
Right. But what's more scary? Them right now when you have the votes or them 3 tribal councils from now when they're voting for you? Like, what's
Yeah.
fair?
Yeah.
And you got to try. When you're saying, God, these people are playing stupid, you go, well, they won before,
Mm-hmm.
and you go, you have to be thinking, I got to get rid of these great players. I mean, even Adam said, the Rob father and all this different stuff. They know that these guys, the longer they stay in the game, they get more power. They can become more powerful, like you said, Christy, because you have less votes.
Right.
To get they had Ben, they had Michelle, they had Jeremy, they had Adam and Denise, right? And there was, who am I missing?
They would have had Adam and Denise, I would have thought,
And they had Danny
and Danny. That would have been 4. Enough. That still wouldn't have been enough. Michelle. Oh yeah, Michelle would have voted with them. You're right.
Yeah. I think at this point, like you've got Rob and Parvati as your strongest players, and then it's almost like, if you go down Tony's ladder, you've got your Jeremy. I think you can kind of just start your way up that ladder and still keep the numbers in your favor.
Because they voted Danny out. Danny was, like I said, she's the only one who voted for Parv.
Right.
Right. So, and her gameplay from day one was not very good.
And the fact that it was all of them that voted for her, I mean, there should have been some attempt to get somebody else.
I always thought, I think the same thing whenever I watch Big Brother. Whenever it's like a unanimous thing like that, and everyone's like, "Yeah, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do this," and only the person who doesn't know. I always think, would I be the person who throws out a crazy vote just to spread like discourse and chaos in the house?
Yeah.
Like, vote for the person that I'm most aligned with. I know they're not going home, but it throws it out there, and they'd never think it was me, and then go like, "Oh wow, what's going on?" But
that's true. Do you think it was one of those things where someone they didn't want to take, because you've seen it a lot of times where, all right, we're all unanimous, this is who's going home. You always have that person going, wouldn't this be a good time for a blind side? And they stick their neck out, and that's who goes, and that's usually and a lot of times that's who goes home.
What? This tribal, that was Danny.
Right.
She did go home, but she was the one saying it. So all you had to do was go, maybe Danny's right.
Yeah.
And it's still Danny's fault. It's not on you.
Well, you don't go. I guess the wild card is Ben, because Ben doesn't stop talking, right? So yeah. Ben is. So how can you go? Okay, Ben, or you just tell him before trial, this is what we're doing. I mean, I would have got rid of Boston Rob or Parvati. That would have been my vote.
Or like I said, start working on those people. Those, even I would put, you got Boston Rob, Parvati, and I would put Jeremy in that group. Start with one of those 3 and just, get rid of whatever. Sandra's going to win. Okay.
No, I think we're seeing right now the groundwork for how those guys get to the end. We're seeing it.
Yeah.
And they're not seeing it, or they don't care. Or maybe CBS is like, give you some extra cash.
But if you're a guy,
right away.
If you're someone like Adam, who's a smart player, and if you somehow get you win this season, an argument could be made that he'd definitely be in the list of one of the best players of all time.
I would say he definitely climbed from the bottom of players this season to overtake and win. Yes.
And we got a lot of episodes left to see his gameplay. So somebody like that probably, they would have a good argument to make.
Yeah. More episodes for me not to get any points.
GB said, I wish they had the exit press interviews this season. Are they not doing it on Rob Has a Podcast? Oh, that's no one's been voted out yet.
Yeah,
technically,
no one's actually left.
I guess not.
Yeah, because they're
once some people actually leave.
And then we were talking about how you brought up a point, Christy, about throwing the. Mike said, "But in Big Brother, you can't see people's handwriting."
And you're right, but you're on an island. You're not doing a lot of stuff. But they really know what your handwriting looks like.
Yeah,
change it up.
You know what I mean? I'll write with my left hand. No one will know. Or spell it wrong. Make it look like Ben.
All right. Now Ben can't spell. Poor Ben. No.
No, I don't know. I was just
Yeah, I'm casting a vote for Rube.
He's not really dumb. He's not JT.
Yeah. So as of now, nobody's technically out of the game. I guess anybody could come back in the game, but we'll see what happens. But any other thoughts about the episode?
Good episode. I'm glad I enjoyed the TSA pat down at the end. What?
What TSA pat down? What?
The bag search.
Oh.
Yes. It was more thorough than probably what they went through just to get there. So
It was a fun tribal. I did have it wasn't
a lot of fun.
If you are in prison with Denise, she's holding something. You go ask her. She's going to have it somewhere stashed. You'll never know.
It's like when Kim found her idol, then it was who walked up, Tony and was it Wendell? I can't forget who else walked up with Tony. She goes, I have nowhere to put it.
No, she didn't, because she has where are you going to put that?
Yeah, she goes, I wish I wore pants today. Oh, I screwed up.
Come on, producers. Can you make these idols a little bit smaller? Sure.
Yeah. Maybe that's what they should do. Make them really big. Just make these huge, big, like,
I'm
drag them.
imagining the big, giant Flavor Flav clock necklace.
Yeah.
Really big.
See, that goes to my I suggested a few years ago that the idol is another contestant. That that you find something and you have to pick who the idol is. So it's someone it doesn't even have to be in your tribe. Oh, I'm gonna make Boston Rob my idol. So now I can do everything I can to keep Boston Rob in the game. So when I get to play my idol is Rob.
And then they go home instead of you?
No. You have to. The strategy would be, because then if say Rob's not in your alliance, and you go, oh, geez, then everyone wants to vote Rob out. You're like going, well, I can't vote out my idol. I have to have that. You have to somehow maneuver. It just adds strategy to the game. I know people look at me like going,
yeah,
but you might have to workshop this a little bit more. But
it's something like that where you might have to fight to keep someone in the game that everybody wants. Say it was Danny was my idol, and last time I'm like going, okay, is there another way we can? Why am I working so hard to keep Danny in the game?
What if it was an inanimate object at your tribe? So at your camp, like the flint is now your idol, and if you have to play it, your tribe doesn't have flint anymore because you now played it.
I like that one too.
You're still in the game, but you've screwed them all. They know it, and now they're real mad at you.
The flaw.
Yeah, I'm not playing the flint.
I'm just saying.
Well, the flaw with the player idol is, like, let's say for example, I'm an idol.
Oh my gosh, Mike.
Yeah, Mike. I'm not. We're not going to read that one. It's a PG show.
No.
But if you join us in the chat live, you can see whatever you want to see.
Yeah, you see all
what's out there.
Comments.
Go ahead, JP.
No. He said Rob's pen is an idol.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Wow.
You were saying, JP?
We're derailed.
No, what I was saying was now, like, let's say you make me an idol, but then to throw somebody else off the track, you say Christy is the idol, and somebody tries to play Christy at tribal, and Jeff says, no, Christy's not an idol.
I get thrown in the fire?
We can throw Christy in the fire.
This is the fake idol.
Yeah. You got to think these through, Jack.
Yeah.
You got to think these through.
Well, that just would add more strategy. I've always been trying to think of a way. Okay, how do you make the idols
interesting?
Well, no, just how do you make it?
I like it.
How do you make it so it's not? Oh, I found an idol. I'm safe. That's why I'm okay with the 2-part idol.
Yeah, you have to share, and you have to tell people. You can't hide and pretend you didn't have it and never let anybody know. Which is totally what I would do if I found an idol. But
yeah. I like Mike. He said Island of the Idols would have looked so much different. I think he's going back to what he said about the Rob.
Well, I mean,
it would have.
Still be a giant head, but
anyway, that's all. So you want to talk about the fantasy league? Do you have the numbers on the fantasy league?
No, let's skip that.
Why? Are you not proud? All
Um,
right.
yeah,
So,
I'm very proud because I tied with the person who didn't enter picks.
JP, that's super hard to do. Like,
Yeah,
like that's almost like reverse skill. That's pretty impressive, actually.
evidently.
Never happens. Actually, this week my sister kind of kicked butt. Paula, you're gonna have to help me with this because who was Super Belly?
Super Belly is my nickname in high school.
No, Super Belly was the person.
That was Carol's other screen.
Right, she had two, but she must be sticking with Super Belly. That's why she didn't do Winning Isn't Everything. Was Winning Isn't Everything or other?
I
I believe it was.
Okay. So Carol got second. Well, just for overall for the week, we'll give our like season wide. Then Got was in third, Randy in fourth, then me, then Ro, and then Jack. Jack went from first. Oh no, then JP. JP got first. So, sorry.
I knew I had a bad day.
But the standings overall. We gotta
Is someone fighting over an idol over there?
Oh, no, my children are fighting. The teenagers are fighting. The 14 and 15-year-old are fighting. Oh, she thinks he's stupid and. Oh!
Whoa!
Oh! Okay, so overall, then Carol's in first place right now. Super Belly took the lead, followed by Jack. She knocked you down, Jack.
I get knocked down, but I get up again.
Right? So Carol has 750 points overall. Then Jack's at 715. Then I'm in third with 585, so I'm a little bit behind. And then my sister's at 15 points behind me. They're seriously fighting.
You know, it's bringing back memories, but bad ones. But that's okay.
Well, I just try to stay out of it. They'll figure it out. It's conflict resolution. Can you hear that?
I can. We can hear him.
My
You
upstairs.
hear what I'm saying though. There's just a lot of yelling.
We have a lot of questions in the chat about the fight.
Yeah, they're. Yeah.
All right, but before all hell breaks loose, who was your MVP of last night's episode? To me, this was a tough one.
I'm going to go with, Tony did climb a good ladder.
Wait! Get out of here! I'm recording right now!
Julian,
Yeah, okay, tell him to calm down. I'll be out there in just a second. The police aren't here yet, so we're all good. Did you guys have a pick? Who is your MVP?
I'm going with Rob because he played terrible, and again, not one. It didn't even come up. They're afraid of him, so I got to go with Rob.
He's like Svengali. He like really is able to like.
I would go with Adam, but Adam can't figure out how to put it in the hole. His torch.
That was really funny. Is he that hungry? Is that what it is? Is it like the brain is just mush?
Yeah, it could be. Mike, see, are the kids fighting over Rob's idol?
No, they're not. No, actually, my daughter's upset she has to do dishes, and then my son won't move his stuff out of the way, and then it's a big fight.
I'm going to go with your son for my MVP pick.
Are you?
Yeah,
No.
I think he's got a good point. Yeah,
No.
don't move your stuff.
Well, yeah. Okay, you'd probably regret that later, but who's your pick, Stevie? I can't even.
I probably would say I agree with Jack that Rob. I mean, I had it in my notes that he blew that puzzle. He totally lost that challenge, but he came back. I mean, he knew his name wasn't even being mentioned.
Yeah.
I mean, it never even came up.
No.
Well, then I'll go a different direction, and I'll say Sandra because she kept her tribe out from tribal council. So
All right, I can live with
they
that.
rocked that puzzle. And let's face it, that's how you win. Don't go to tribal.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I think on that note, I think Chrissy needs to go break up a fight.
I might have one less deduction next year. So
Yeah, you want to wait till the end of the year.
yeah.
Yeah,
Can you-
that's what
When we stop
But at
recording,
least, it has to be at least half the year, right?
yes, I think that's what it is.
hey,
So
Christy,
after July 1st, I'm good.
Yes.
when we stop recording, can you just leave your camera on at least while you go take care of that?
Because you want to hear? Is that interesting?
Kind of.
No, I actually I don't because again
It is pretty funny.
it's bringing back bad memories for me. I'm having flashbacks.
It's like,
I'm just like,
it's
stop
changing so loud.
talking. Yes.
No, those two love to fight each other. Oh my god, they're both so stubborn.
Anyway, great show. We'll be back next week, next Thursday. I think JP and I will be back. I don't know, Chrissy.
And I'll be able to let you guys all know who won the big grudge match here.
Oh,
there you go. And thanks for everyone who joined us in the chat. Again, if you want to join us in the chat, just subscribe. You'll get a little notification that we're on. And that's it. But we'll be back next week.
We will.
Bye.
Bye.